put it on my face, but that didn't quite, okay, it's in my eyes. Okay, that's not smart. Oh, I really gotta go. Oh, Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Jackie. It has been a while since we've done a full face one brand tutorial. We get into every single part of the brand. Today, that particular brand comes by popular demand. That brand is Bobbi Brown, which is a brand, not even just a brand, but a woman that I've admired for quite some time, like as early as when I first got into the makeup industry. Not the Bobbi Brown you think, you know, all these people talking all this stuff about me. Why won't they just let me live? I don't need permission to make my own decisions. It's my prerogative. Not that Bobbi Brown. This is Bobbi, B-O-B-B. I really like her stuff. I definitely feel like she offers a different approach to beauty. Before we do get started, don't be a part of the 60%. The 60% of people who watch my videos and don't subscribe. We love you, but we want to see you here more often. So make sure you join the Jackie Aina family. And you know what? Sometimes YouTube be trying it. So if you are not getting notified, I need you to call your congressman. I would tell you to call your president, but he's not exactly the most reliable source right now. Please make sure you subscribe. I love you guys. I love seeing you come back. I love reading comments. I love seeing return happy customers. Even though you guys aren't buying anything. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so my skin is looking, I think, really nice today. I used Retin-A. I am a lover and a user of the Retin-A's. Sometimes Retin-A does dry your skin out a little bit, and I know you guys love when I throw in some skincare randomly, so I'm just gonna use this Neutrogena sheet mask. It's the hydrogel mask. It's supposed to be a purifying deep clean, which, how would you deep clean in a mask? I don't know, it's a little weird. I do really like these masks. There's so much juicy product in here. Ah, you know, I just love a juicy sheet mask. I just love when it's like dripping. Ah! Okay, that was, and this is supposed to help the skin glow. I really love their Hydro Boost products. Like, they're amazing. And I always take the extra juice. This is my favorite. Oh, it dripped everywhere. I tried to take the extra juice so I could put it on my face, but that didn't quite, okay, it's in my eyes. Okay, that's not smart. That's not. This is what happens when you do things outside the bathroom. Yeah, learned my lesson. Oh, I really gotta go. Oh, So this is gonna stay on for 15 to 30 minutes. All right then, damn, I'll be back. Okay, so it's been about 30 minutes. It's time to take this off and do the rest of my skincare. I'm gonna pat in the remaining part of that serum. My skin feels so good. So Bobbi Brown doesn't carry any actual primers, like primers for foundation. What she does have is her vitamin enriched face base. It's supposed to be like a moisturizer slash primer in one. It is labeled as a moisturizer and it can be used morning and night. I've had professional makeup artists, the ones who don't believe in primer, I've had them do my makeup and it will look freaking amazing, but I will notice a clear difference. My skin usually gets way oilier way sooner and it just doesn't last as long. Whatever floats your boat or finds your lost remote, I do think that there's a time and a place. Bobbi doesn't, and that's fine. It has very nice notes of citrus. It smells really nice, but if you are sensitive to smell in your skincare products, you're not gonna like this because it's a pretty dense scent there. It has a matte texture, but I feel like the finish is kind of oily. Like, it actually advertises itself as being something that's ideal for like normal oily skin types. My skin feels super soft. That also could be because of the mask. I don't know. I like my skincare to smell like something, even just a little something. Just a minute. The vitamin enriched face base retails for $60. This is the primer for people who don't believe in primers. Ooh, wait, y'all mind if I pluck this chin hair? Hold on. Ooh, I love getting them right when they first bud. Yes, I got it. Yeah, I got another one. I got his little brother. Hold that thought. I'm gonna move in a little bit closer so you can see more of my face. All right, so skincare, check. Primer, check. Let's move on to the base. I've done a full first impressions / wear test on the Skin Long Wear Foundation. This is one of the newest launches. I am so glad they came out with this foundation. Bobbi's definitely meeting the needs of the everyday average girl now with these newer launches. I really do like a lot of Bobbi Brown's products. However, I've always felt like they were a little too skin-like for my liking, like a little too hydrating and a little too transparent for me. I needed a little bit more beat. I need a little bit more coverage. And I needed my pores to get lost, man. Get out of here. All right, scram. There's no room for you here, guys. So make sure you keep an eye out on that description box because that's a whole video in itself for as long as I can remember. And you know when black girls clap when they're making a point, it's about to be really important. I have always wanted this palette. This is her face palette. It's kind of like a universal concealer slash corrector. Like it literally has every single shade of every single concealer that she makes in one beautiful wide spectrum of colors and shades. $5.99 for non-stores and retail. Do take precaution, and if you notice stroke or heartburn, you might be dying. Toss that over. You've got the cool side. So we're mainly going to be working on the warmer side, the yellows and the more golden shades in the palettes. The reason why this was my dream palette is because she retails for a pretty penny of $225. That's a lot, but if you are a working makeup artist, honestly, it's definitely an investment worth making. Now I have it. I bought it specifically for this video. So, ooh, that's a nice color. Warm almond. Let's see what warm almond looks like around my mouth. Now, the thing that I remember about her concealers and her correctors is they're a little bit like on the oily side, like a little too hydrating. And that's what I think sometimes keeps me from using them. Right now I'm using warm almond just to warm up around my mouth area. This tends to be my problem area where I get a bit gray. I'm not gonna play with this palette too much because I have another concealer from Bobbi Brown that I wanna try. It's a new one. I am gonna take Espresso, which is the darkest shade in the palette, up here and do just a little bit of sculpting. I just realized how sheer these are. These are super sheer. I'm gonna put a little bit on the cheekbones and around the perimeter of my face. Okay, I flipped on the other side to go to where the correctors are and I'm going, yeah, that's really light. I will take golden under my eyes. I'm taking golden, but we are gonna put concealer on top of this. So Bobbi Brown's newest concealer is supposed to be her most fullest coverage concealer. It's called the Instant Full Cover Concealer. How about I've said concealer like 10 times? All right, thumbs up for another word, concealer. Concealer. I haven't seen any negative reviews for this concealer yet. I'm really intrigued. I've heard the coverage is phenomenal. The only thing I don't really like is the applicator. Like the applicator is like the applicator of like a lipstick. Look at this, look at this, look, somebody come look at this. Do you see how tiny that is? It's tiny. I mean, Bobbi, what in the tiny Tim is going on? I need something that's gonna allow for a more smooth application. This is just, I don't know, just not. Oh, it's really thick, by the way. Oh, it's so thick. Very, very thick. It's almost like molasses thick. And I use the color Almond in almost all of her concealers. Almond and Golden Almond are the shades that I go back and forth with. But again, this applicator is not the business. See how we like it with the brush though. Okay, better, but I mean, it would take you so long to get the product on the back of your hand, into the brush, and then onto your face. And I know that they are working to improve this applicator because I did talk to them about it, but I just don't understand like how this would make it through like rounds and rounds and rounds and rounds of like trials, and like how would this get approved? So here's what the concealer looks like so far. I mean, she looks really cute. She was a little bit on the oily side, but I'm really happy with the cover. Let me just blend it actually. And you know, with me, I always make the mistake of like waiting too long when I'm using a new concealer. So far, that doesn't appear to be happening here. It's still very movable and it feels like it has a somewhat of a matte texture, maybe not a matte finish, but the texture feels like it is drying down just a little bit. So I just went on the website to check the price of this concealer. It is $30. Considering like how diverse Bobbi Brown's products are, I was a little surprised to see that on the Sephora website there's only like 3 shades darker than Almond. And mind you, Almond is my highlight shade. The darkest shade is Chestnut, and I just feel like it's not the greatest selection, but it does, according to the website, it does look like a pretty even ratio of like dark to light. I'm actually gonna use a little bit of that Chestnut right above my mouth area. I hope this formula isn't too thick and this just makes my mouth crease more. I am praying for the best. And I'm finally 10 years later blending the concealer, which is still moving quite nicely. It does not dry down. It's been a long time, Bobbi. I should have left you without some little nieces and nephews, Bobbi. It may not be as big as my other full coverage concealers, but you know what? I think it looks great. So far, I'm feeling like my skin and my base is obviously different probably than what you guys are used to, but I think it's a nice change. Like, I feel like I can see enough of my skin. It's just different, and I don't think it's a bad different. You know, there's a time and a place for RuPaul's Drag Race. I'm just saying, not that there's anything wrong with being Dragisha. Bobbi Brown's makeup reminds me a lot of like what you could wear to the beach. It's like fun, it's fresh, it's breathable. Fun fact, Bobbi Brown makes one of like the first one was CoverGirl Queen Collection, but they make one of the first bronzers that I ever used. Like, I didn't realize that people with dark skin could even use bronzers. Like, it was like a whole new world for me. It's definitely not the darkest bronzer, but it gets the job done. You know, I also think that even for me, sometimes bronzers have me a little shook because I've had bronzers that were like exactly like my skin tone, and then I apply them and I'm like, whoa, where'd that color come from? Bronzers are like super tricky. Like, you can never really tell if a bronzer is too, well, you can tell if it's too light. You can definitely tell if it's too light. Sometimes I now go for a bronzer that is close to my skin tone because it doesn't look too contoury, you know what I mean? As opposed to like an actual contour. So this is the way to bring back some of the depth in your skin without adding that sculpted look. So as you can see, it added a really nice glow. This is such a good bronze, LeBron James. Bobbi, I'm gonna just need more colors of this one and the concealer. That's all I ask. Once you get the stats back on the first initial launch, you know, come back to the Sephora headquarters and say, hey guys, all right, selling really well. Let's add more shades, thanks. Because I know that's what y'all do. Okay, so I really like these two blushes, and I love Bobbi's blushes. One thing that I like about her blushes is like, they're not super pigmented, so you have to like go in because they're just, oh, never mind. That was one hell of a So the colors I'm going to be using, I really like them because I feel like they're more subtle. They're more easier to use, like more user-friendly. Apricot and berry. Okay, can you tell me how you pronounce apricot? I don't want to know for me. Like, I just want to know how you say it. Is it apricot or do you say apricot? What in the thunderstorm is going on? Anyways, all I was saying is I want to mix both of these colors today because they just look really pretty. Ooh, oh, that's got, ooh, oops, that's color. That's a lot of color. Oh my God, stunning. Oh, that's so pretty. I'm so glad I mixed these together. I'm actually really glad I decided to mix these together. That's gorgeous. I'm also gonna add a little bit more bronzer without dipping it. I'm just like blending in the two. This whole Bobbi situation, this whole Bobbi wave has even got me applying my makeup differently. You see, I haven't even touched my eyes yet. We're getting there. Fun fact, Bobbi Brown invented the shimmer bricks. She is a legend, a revolutionary. Nobody was doing these like strip highlighters, brick thing situations until Bobbi started it. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to yell. Headphone users, I love y'all. Sorry. Bobbi had the girls jockeying. I'm actually not going to use this one. I just want to throw that fun fact out there. I am, however, going to use her highlighting powder in Sun-Kissed Glow. I think these are so, not only do they look pretty, but I love her highlighting powders. And I chose this one because it's like a deep pinky copper. That is literally made for chocolate skin. That's stunning. Oh, that's so, this is my first time using that color in particular. That is so pretty. I'm gonna add a bit of the bronzing powder right in Chia. I love adding a little bit of highlighter down the bridge of my nose and in the middle. The brush that I'm using is the sheer powder brush. I do like some of Bobbi Brown's brush. Her face blender brush, I use this a lot for blush products. I really like this brush. However, I feel like the ones with the white bristles are a little scratchy. This black one is nice. The black brush hairs are super soft. We're gonna make Bobbi beats because it's a beat world Bobbi. I was really intrigued by this new drama palette. Actually, I feel like I like a lot of her eyeshadow selection. When I used to freelance for Bobbi Brown, I always like just drooled over the holiday palettes because they always had the perfect color selection. The presentation was gorgeous. This is like a mauve girl's dream. It's got every basic everyday color you would look for. It's got a mauve. It's got a dark gray, purple, schmurple, I don't know, grurple, and all the rosy shimmer shades. The shimmer shades are so pretty, but they're also a little bit on the sheer side. First, I'm going to take one of her Longwear cream shadow sticks. I love these. They're super creamy, super pigmented, and I'm just going to put that on the immediate eyelid area. Now, this is a gray, and I don't normally prep my eye with the gray base or anything like that. But you know what? There's a first time for everything. That's actually a really cool color. The first thing I'm gonna take is this dark, almost black, but it's more like a dark purple gray color. And I'm blending her just along my bottom lash line into my outer corner. We're just gonna draw a V. Okay, we're just gonna elongate that eye and do the V. I love how this eye look is turning into like an ashier cool tone gray look. It's not really something that I typically do, but I'm kind of here for it. I'm gonna take this gray lavender color and blend that out onto my lid, into my crease, just a teensers. We're definitely gonna add a lighter buffer color in that crease area. So I'm not blending it up too high. Oh, we've got some creasing already. That concealer is creasing. She clocked out early. Okay, now I'm gonna take this color. I feel like it's a little light to be a crease color, but let's just go for it anyway. That color is just a hair too light. I wish it was another color that was like closer to the color of this foundation to kind of tie it all in, but it's getting the job done. That's all that matters. This creasing, man, like I can really see the creasing under my eye. I don't know how much of that you guys can see, but I'm trying to show you the situation. Okay, so we'll regroup, you know, blend it out. Okay, I think that looks much better. I add a little bit more concealer and then I'm gonna add a little bit more powder just to reinforce. Okay, so aside from the concealer fiasco, which was awkward, I've checked my makeup in a different light, in a different mirror, and I actually think it looks really, really good. As Dennis likes to say, flawless. Let's add some eyeliner. I'm gonna take the perfectly defined gel eyeliner, which swatched so creamy and so nice, by the way. So good. My top lash line, I'm just going in. And then using this color from the palette again, I'm gonna smudge out that liner. You guys know she loves a smoked smudge liner. Honestly, at this point, if the concealer creases again, then it's just, I don't know, dog. I think that's a big one. I do. I think it's safe to say that's a big one. Okay, so update. I've been wearing the product so far for about an hour and I'm feeling like this concealer is just a little too oily for me. And I feel like the formula has gotten a little more warm than what I would like. It's like too yellow at this point, even for me, and I like yellow. I think it looks good in normal lighting, but even considering the fact that I used a beige powder on top, it's just not, I don't know if this is a concealer for me. The foundation, on the other hand, I rocks with. You cool with me. I'm gonna finish this up by adding the Art Stick Liquid Lip. These look really fascinating, but you know what's really cool? I thought these were glosses, and I don't think these are, it's like a glossy-ish situation. It reminds me a lot of the NARS lip hybrids where it's like a gloss meets a lipstick, but it's got that somewhat shiny finish. That's what this reminds me a lot of. There's no, oh, it's slightly minty. So the color that I'm using is Plum Noir. Ooh, that's pretty. It's like a lip stain, actually. Not as glossy as the NARS Formula one. That's really pretty. So I wasn't expecting to be this dark, but I'm going with it. I like it. As you can see, I added lashes off camera as well. But that is the final look. All right, so final thoughts once again, even though I kind of already gave you some a little bit earlier. I just feel like I'm a little too shiny for comfort, considering the fact that I haven't been wearing this for very long. I don't know if that concealer is right when used with that particular foundation, just because I feel like it's just a bit too shiny for my liking. Like, I'm gonna have to carry black powders. And I just feel like I shouldn't have to do that. I love the vitamin enriched face base. I think this is pretty expensive. If you can afford to indulge in it, I think you should. It makes the skin feel so soft. It's so smooth, girl. I like this foundation. I've already shared my thoughts on this. I think it's a game changer for Bobbi Brown. The concealer, not so much, especially because the applicator is not that great. I love the shadows. I do think that they're a little bit different from formulas that I'm used to. It doesn't really have a lot of pigment, but it is a really good color selection. I think that's one thing that Bobbi owns, is she knows how to place the right colors together. And of course, love the blushes. And the cheek products, I do have to say, are my favorite. Like, I just think Bobbi owns the cheeks. okay? She just does. She just does it for me. That was it for today's video. I really hope you guys enjoyed this full face of Bobbi Brown. Please let me know what you think in the comments down below, and let me know what full face brand you would like me to try out more. This channel thrives on your suggestions and you guys' commentary, so please keep them coming. They're always welcome, and I'll see you guys in the next video, which I'm gonna do it on this side now for once. I'm gonna switch it up. You know, we're gonna put the next video right here. She gonna be right here, and you gonna click it because you ain't got nothing else to do. Just be honest. Let's just be honest, okay?